but Samuel can be very like poetic and allegorical and, in his presentation. So it doesn't always hit home. It is not always super clear. And I think that is part of masking. That's part of hiding. That's part of, keeping, and I'm not diagnosing or anything. These are just my own personal thoughts and opinions. But I think it's similar. The things that were happening then, I think some of them it's similar to what is happening now.
Do you feel like how much of the story we've told so far minimizes your own experiences?
In a way, yes. In terms of the story, internally in my own healing journey, no. I've already validated my own experience. And so whatever you say or don't say, actually, doesn't really matter. If we're doing this for the purpose of creating an impact and helping others, then yes. I think it takes away from the opportunity and our ability to do that. And then it also reflects on you, right? Because it's like you can only go as far as you're willing to share. You can only heal as much as you're willing to reveal. You can only, and if you're not there yet, you're not there yet. And nobody's saying you need to get there and you need to hurry up and you need to, no, it's not about that. We take our time and we journey in a way that fits for us and that feels right for us. Nobody can force you to heal and get through and get over and whatever in a day if you need 10 years. And I think that's another thing as well, right? Because a lot of us are like, oh, we need to heal faster. We need to heal faster. We need to get over and what? No, that's not what this is about. But we do have to recognize that we cannot achieve or expect the results that full healing deserves and requires if we aren't willing to be fully revealing and fully vulnerable and fully open and fully transparent. We cannot expect the benefits without having gone through the struggle or the stress or the pain or the process. Right. We just can't. It's like you're not willing to face some things, you're not going to get over some things. You're not going to be healed from those things. Right? We can't hide and expect to be healed. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. So I think, But
I'm trying to think how much of what you're saying I agree and resonate with. And I think a lot. Because, I guess I haven't really felt like I've hit a lot from the listeners here. But there's definitely chunks and important chunks that I just haven't talked about in detail. And it's like, for me, it's not about healing versus not healing as much as it is about, just not knowing how much information about my life should be general public versus people close to me, right? People like be close to me or my support team, right? I think that's an ongoing question that I have, but that's not to say that I think that's the only part that I maybe have questions about. I'm like, is it about healing or is it about sharing with strangers? But beyond that,
Interesting.
Like, if there's things that you and I have talked about and things that I talk about with therapists and things I talk about with my friends and family, but we're not talking about here. Details. Is that a function of a lack of healing, or is that a wise choice given the fact that the internet's a wild place and it's not always good to tell everybody everything?
I think it can be the difference between acting out of fear versus acting out of function. You could say one thing, but it could be another thing. And I know you well enough to think to myself. I think I know you well enough to know that the unwillingness to share is directly connected to your healing.
Interesting.
Or level of healing. And we're 10 years out. I remember when Everything went down, stuff hit the fan, whatever. I checked out, and we had to tell our parents. We had to talk to our parents, and I made Samuel do it. I was like, bro, you blew up the spot. You talk to the parentals. You let them know why this is happening. And Samuel was, he did his thing. I like to say Samuel presents very well, and his words can sometimes be very flowery. It's very flowery. And so even when he shared with our parents, like, hey, this is what's going on. These are some of the reasons why we are deciding to move forward in this way, separate, blah, blah, blah. I remember my mother coming to me after, and she was like, I don't understand. Like, why? What's really going on? And then I had to break it down to her. I was like, this is what happened. She was like, oh my God, But Samuel can be very like poetic and allegorical and, in his presentation. So it doesn't always hit home. It is not always super clear. Mm-hmm. And I think that is part of masking. That's part of hiding. That's part of, keeping, and I'm not diagnosing or anything. Mm-hmm. These are just my own personal thoughts and opinions. But I think it's similar. The things that were happening then, I think some of them it's similar to what is happening now. And just in terms of like willingness to embrace, this is my journey. This is a part of my life. And, we're here on a platform. The internet is a crazy place, but we decided to be here. We chose to be here. We didn't have to be here. And we chose to be here for a reason, which means that there are people who are looking and speaking or looking and listening for a reason. They're connecting with our experience. And I think there are a lot more people that you can reach with your full story than there are with your partial story.
Somebody say that. Yeah, I think I mostly agree with you. There's some disagreements on the margins. Like, I think there's a level. So if I contrast it to when we were married, I felt like I had a whole hidden life that nobody knew about. Now, that's not the case at all, right? There are things that some of the people listening don't know about, but everything in my life, some people know about. So yeah, I think for me, that would be but kind of like with your parents, I think the first conversation we had, I didn't know how much I was supposed to share, but eventually I told them everything. Like, I remember, I don't think you were even there for that conversation, actually.
No, I wasn't there for any other conversations.
I sat down with your mom, and I had a conversation together where she was basically like, if you don't tell me anything, how can I trust you? Right? And we were officially separated, but we were living with your mom. We'd moved back in with your mom, and I told her everything. And then I remember I sat down with your parents, and I had a conversation with your parents, wild conversation, between me, your dad, and your mom, who were not together, are not together. And yeah, so I think for me, it's I just think of it differently as far as knowing who to talk to when, rather than hiding. But I still think I think to your point, there might be a portion of fear. Like, if we ask, like we're here to share vulnerably and to provide healing through sharing our journey. Like, that's what we've said we want to do. The question is, why am I holding a portion of the story back? And maybe the answer is, yeah, I'm afraid of being judged for some of the aspects of the story that that my circle knows, but that I haven't posted on the internet before. Yeah, like I just think there's truth to what you're saying, but there's also a distinction to be made between
then and now.
10 years ago,
absolutely,
hidden life, double life, and now that's not the case.
Yeah, fair enough, and I agree with that completely. And it's not really it's not a pressure thing, like you need to, say and share and whatever. It's really just in my opinion and in my observation, calling out, some of the contributing factors. And yeah, I mean,
no, I hear what you're saying, and it's helping me think about it in a different way than maybe I have before. So thank you.
I just want to say that the responses that you guys just gave were very healing. Like that back and forth was
Oh,
because you guys just shared how you're processing this process of this whole podcast and the journey, the healing that you guys are both going through. It was very healing. Just hearing the back and forth, I really appreciated that. That was
Thank you.
insightful.
Thank you.
So what have you learned about differing memories from your divorce? To sum it all up.
Are you waving at me? Oh, okay. Thanks. These guys are wild. Okay. Oh, yeah. Memories are unreliable. No. Memories are. What have I learned from differing memories? Memories are nuanced. That's what I've learned. I've learned that they can and do change to suit us wherever we're at. And they can be reframed. They can serve our dominant narratives that can be unhelpful or helpful. Yeah, I think I feel like that's very therapeutic. That sounded very lofty. Hold on. Maybe let's bring it back down to earth, Jen. What have I learned from differing memories?
I feel like it was still on point.
Yeah, but I'm trying to like personalize it, and I'm like, oh, but I have learned all those things. That's true. That's very true. I've learned to restory, reauthor. You know, narrative therapy is like so powerful for just building, you know, narratives that are empowering. So I think that's probably, if I'm being honest, that's probably the crux of what I've taken away, because that has been the primary reason I can do this. Right. Looking back and not saying, like, I have friends to this day that won't talk to Samuel. They be like, no, he's trash. Waste man. Don't talk to him. Like, no, like, because of what he did. But I look back and I'm like, yeah, there were some crazy things that happened, but I can even access like compassion. You know what I mean? And some people are just like, I can't do that. That's not even a thing based on what I've gone through, what I've been through, what's happened. And that's all a process of taking those memories and reshaping them and re-narrating them or restorying them in a way that I can be empowered by. Right. And then I can forgive, I can let go, I can make amends, I can see more of myself, I can grow and evolve, I can take criticism, I can own and accept all the parts of my life. Like, all of those things come out of being able to look back and restory, right? And then of course we can do this. We can build revolutionary relationships and have transformational conversations.
I love it.
Right? So,
Check
out the relationship series on Corner Counselor, YouTube. No, joking. Go ahead.
But not joking.
Not joking.
I have learned from this process, especially from us doing this podcast together and starting to connect again, I have learned two things. One is how much additional harm I caused in addition to what I knew about at the time, right? Like, as we just talked about today, there's things that I did that I don't remember, right? Or things that I did that I remember that I've reframed in a way that protects me in a way that's probably not healthy. So, yeah, that I feel like, apart from Genevieve, I did a bunch of work trying to own my own ish, like take responsibility for what I did. But I can't do that, as Genevieve said, as effectively if I don't know. Like, the more information that I get, it can invalidate my own experiences, but it can also correct my perception of what happened. And then on the lighter side, I'm just enjoying. It's funny how sometimes Genevieve doesn't remember things that like legit happened, like 100% happened. She does not remember it.
Like what?
Like, okay, you and I talked about this. When I first confessed everything and shared like all the ways that I had been a toxic and terrible husband. You went and talked to your friend, and your friend said, if he asks for help, help him. If he doesn't, leave him. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, you don't remember that.
Which friend was
I
this?
wish I knew which friend, but anyways.
I wish I would know. I wish I knew which friend.
And then I went to talk to my friend.
Is this my imaginary friend?
This is what you told me happened, right? I remember it distinctly because at the same time.
Oh, this is what I told you happened. So you're telling me a memory that I. Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
At the time, you told me it happened. Yeah.
I might have lied. I don't think
you might have made up the friend.
I might have made up the friend. I don't know why.
You have enough friends that you don't need to make them up. You got lots of friends.
That's true. I have a lot of friends. Yeah. I don't know why I would do that.
So Jeff,
I don't know why I would tell you that. That doesn't. I didn't tell anybody. I did not. I legit didn't tell anybody.
You told at least one person.
Okay.
We left the house.
I'm gonna have to go through. I'm gonna do a poll throughout my friends and be like, "Did I tell you anything?"
Anyways, let me finish what happened, because that part is the least verifiable part of the story that I'm telling right now.
Got it. Go for it.
I went and talked to Jeff, who has been a guest host on our podcast several times.
Shout out to Jeff.
And he told me to write a letter to you, apologizing for everything, taking responsibility and asking for help at the same time. And these things were happening independently. So I did. I took a letter. So yeah, I wrote a letter to you and I gave it to you. I hope we have that letter somewhere, asking for. But Jeff can verify this because he read the letter. He edited the letter.
Oh wow! And did you give me the letter?
Why wouldn't I give you a letter?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. Where'd the letter go?
So we got to try to find a letter. I think, right?
I mean, we need receipts because this is a very, very fantastic story. It's fantastical.
Mm-hmm. So again, we're still on the part that's verified.
But I don't remember the first two parts.
This part is verifiable because Jeff has read the letter.
Okay, so it's verifiable in terms of the fact that you wrote the letter and he read the letter, not the fact that you gave me the letter.
Okay, so subsequent to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Where is this letter?
You agreed.
Right.
You agreed to help me, and you did.
I agreed to help you.
You agreed to help me overcome the struggles with addiction that I was experiencing. And the evidence of that is very present because you would do things like, there was a time that like you would ride with me in the car 24. We made an agreement that somebody would be with me 24/7, right? So either you or another friend. So you would ride, like we would be going places and you'd be riding with me. I'd be working and you'd be in the car with me. You, like we had a team set up that somebody had to be with me at all times. And this is verifiable because other people were involved.
Who was
in that.
part of the team?
Jeff was like, I went to Ottawa. Jeff was
part of the team?
Jeff was part of the team.
I don't remember being a part of this team.
You were the head of the team.
I was the head of the team.
The head of the team in the sense that you adjusted your schedule to spend time with me in times that you wouldn't ordinarily have spent time with me. So we were always rolling together, unless
I feel like I should remember that.
Unless you had a class or something like that. But again, this part is more verifiable. And that was the time when we moved into first your mom's house. We moved back to your mom's place, and then eventually we moved with your godchildren to watch over your godchildren for a few months. Anyways, I have a vivid memory, and again, other people were involved in this, of like Genevieve adjusting her schedule to support me. And the way that you remember it, it sounds, having talked about it with you before this podcast, sounds like you were out, right? But you came with me to therapy, like therapy for me, with like, I don't know if you remember that. You came...
I remember going to therapy, yeah.
Yeah, you came with me to therapy that was specifically focused on me. You came with me, like, you sent me support groups to go to. You gave me books to read. You were actively involved in helping me overcome addiction at the time, and which is to your credit again. But for some reason, yeah, like, and other people.
Wife of the year.
Come on, somebody.
Trust me, she was. You were. Again, it sounds like you were checked out to a degree, but in your actions,
but apparently not.
Yeah, you were supporting me. So I think that was. It's interesting to me hearing that you don't remember that when that was such a huge, pivotal point for me, right?
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing, I think.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. We remember it differently.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people have asked us, Sam and Jen, you guys are doing this podcast together. Are you getting back together? And instead of answering that to their face, we figured we'd answer it here in this podcast. So, scale of 1 to 10, we're going to write how likely we are at this point, at this moment, after this episode, to get back together. Cool?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, man.
You're more artistic than I am, visually speaking. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
We're going to reveal in... You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. What? Are y'all laughing at my drawing? You better not be laughing at my artwork. Yo, after all this laughter...
Why? Why are you erasing it?
You're laughing.
Oh no!
Yeah, you're getting lower marks now. After, because I was a 6.9, because you demonstrated such wifely qualities in the way that you gently...
No, wifely quality.
Yeah.
Do you see my
What's yours?
wife of the year hashtag? Pinterest basket?
Basket.
Guys. That's epic.
It's a really nice basket.
I deserve...
Are you telling me the basket you made for me was even nicer than the one in this picture?
I'm gonna find the picture.
Wow. Okay.
The basket was epic, okay?
Yo, this basket.
It was a very nice
somehow.
basket. I'm gonna show it to you guys, okay? You're gonna see the basket.
So we need to see the basket and the letter.
And the letter.
That's the two
We need
takeaways.
receipts. We need
The
receipts.
receipt.
I definitely have a picture of the basket. I don't know if you got any evidence about this letter, except for the fact that he has this friend who can corroborate
You know what?
and agree with him.
I
So
think we're gonna do. We'll
hearsay.
discuss this. You know what I think we might do? And tell me your thoughts. But I think we should have Jeff back on. He should corroborate the letter, and then I also, because I agree with what you said, Jen. I think the best case scenario is for me to share the full story. So I think some of the parts that we've held back, I think we should have Jeff on and maybe share more of the full story.
You should tell them what Jeff said
What did Jeff say?
about you telling your story.
Oh, Jeff actually refused to come back on the podcast.
Refused.
Yeah.
Oh.
Refused until I tell the more of the story, the full story.
He thinks you're holding back too much.
Yeah. Again, not that I've been lying about anything,
right.
but there's important chunks that have not been shared. And honestly, just because probably some combination of fear and pragmatism. I'm like, doesn't make sense even to share this much with strangers. But yeah, I do think that's the point of why we're doing this, right? It's for healing for myself and for other people. And maybe there's a greater level of healing for myself that's available there too.
Oh, Lord. That just touched my heart.
You're going to say
It's just
something?
healing in general. I
cut you
I
off.
feel, do you feel healed? This is just so healing. I love this.
Thank you so much, Simone.
You're welcome.
Goodness. You are like water and you just flow and you are refreshing. So thank you for being water in this space today. We're a little bit fiery sometimes. So sometimes you need to douse us, bring us back down. But yeah, thank you so much for being here and for stepping in and just like, hey, I got this kind of thing. And I'd like for
Simone, sorry to interject. I want to make sure we don't forget this. Where can we find and support you? Is there any way anything online that we can keep track of you and support?
Definitely. So I do have my handles the same on Instagram and on TikTok. So I do have mostly my singing endeavors. I do have some work vlogs, but it's under sim. So SIM live laugh love. I know it sounds cliche, but I started that years ago. Don't judge me. So sim live laugh love on Instagram and on TikTok. And you may see some other links on those pages as well that connect to other content that I have out there. But yeah, there's several avenues that I've dabbled in. Actually spoke to Jen about this not too long ago about, finding my niche. So as I journey along in my different avenues, I'm kind of squeezing into a certain place where I'm just kind of making my own little niche. Like I am my niche. So you'll see. You guys will see more of what's to come. Listen,
you're creative, you're an entrepreneur, we get it, right?
Yeah,
we get it. There's
absolutely.
The journey that's involved in that. So I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed. I will be disappointed if your niche is not podcast host, because the way you set things up for us to flow, like that was, you did like if this was a good episode, a good chunk of that is due to you and the way that you were able to facilitate things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Well, it's been a time. We've had a blast and we hope that you have had a blast as well. Be sure to like, to share, to comment, as well as to subscribe to Sam and Jen Got Diverse. We would love to hear from you. your memories, your shared memories, how your memories of your past are helping you or hindering you, are healing you, all of that. We would love to just connect. So please share with us, send us your questions if you have them, and we'll continue. We'll continue the conversation. Thank you again. See you guys on the next episode. We out.